we do it. Oh God, I love
Let our viewers come in.
Q&A. Is fantastic.
Beautiful.
I know it's really like it sounds like a horror movie, like someone's about to get stabbed.
Like very suspenseful.
Yeah, it's like they're about to open that door, and it's like,
Mm.
yeah, we're not used to that shit.
Except it's our heads.
Yeah. Good morning, everyone. How are we? What's going on? What's cracking? Good morning, Kate. Absolute good morning to you, my friend. Hope you're doing well. Hey, Sammy with the white heart. Hey, Megs. How's it going? Hey, Bex. How's it going? That's good. Let's keep going. Keep popping them through. Good eye, Shawnio.
You know, can I just throw in this? I don't even know Sean, but I really like Sean.
Yeah, he's amazing in real life.
Is he?
Yeah, he's exactly like I thought he would be. Like just warm, calming, approachable,
genuine,
lovely. Yeah, just genuine. Yeah.
The podcast that he did with Jason, it was a while ago now. After that podcast, I immediately, Sean, messaged Jace and said, I love that guy. And it was one of my favorite podcasts.
Yeah, he's beautiful. It's I like, for me, the best part about coaching is when you meet everyone in real life. That's the best part about coaching.
Yeah.
To get to absolutely feel the person of who they really are. Like nothing says more about someone when you meet them, to be honest. You know, over screens is one thing, but you know, when you see them and feel it, like their warm nature, it's pretty cool. So yeah, he's a good guy.
Awesome.
I'm not saying different. How are you, Carl? Is you good?
I'm good. I'm very, very good.
That's good.
How are you?
Yeah, I'm good, mate. Good. Just got back from the gym. Had some brekkie. Carly, you are glowing. Wow.
Oh, thanks, Sam. Thank
Lovely.
you. Mike's
Sam.
face was glowing when he came onto his live stream and I beat him to it. I was already here waiting for him, and I knew how to get myself on without his assistance.
Because Carly's not the most, let's say, tech-savvy person in the world.
You can't be good at everything.
You can't be, but you can try.
I do try.
Yeah. All right, let's get cracking with Q&A this morning. It's going to be a short and sharp one because I've got to go early today, but nevertheless, we're here. First question of the day came yesterday, and it says, are treadmills and all cardio machines accurate when it comes to heart rate, calories, distance, etc.? The short answer is no, they're not 100% accurate. There is a level of accuracy. Like, I've got to remember, technology these days has further increased since back in my day, 20 years ago when I first got on a treadmill. It was definitely not the electronics that we've got today. So yeah, they're all estimates. We've got to remember it's an estimate, right? Nothing says true distance of walking by walking the distance rather than being on a treadmill. The treadmill might not be calibrated. Definitely with heart rate, it's an estimate. They're very close these days. They're very accurate, but the sensors could be out, so we can't rely on things like that are controlled by computers and things. So yeah, the question is, how accurate are they? They're not 100% accurate, so don't rely on them for everything like that. Results will vary between different machines. I know I've ran on one machine and I had 4Ks, and then I've ran another one and it was 4.8Ks or something like that. So
I'll take the 4.8.
Yeah, round it up all the time, eh?
Yeah. No, I agree with you, Mike. It's the same as like your smartwatch, right? Yeah, they're somewhat, use them as a guide. Yeah. They're not completely accurate.
Yeah. Same as MyFitnessPal when we're plugging in and tracking our nutrition, right? Some of the food in there is not accurate. So we've got to use intuition sometimes, but like anything, like Carly said, it's a guide for us to use to monitor and maintain the things we're doing. So accuracy levels, not 100%, but keep using them. They're a great tool for what we need them.
Agree.
Excellent. All right. Next one is, are there any real benefits from organic versus non-organic foods? Oof. Are there any real benefits from organic and non-organic food?
This is it's a widely, how do you say it? It's a very controversial. Yeah. Did we just say that at the same time?
Yeah, we did.
So in sync with each other, Mike. It is because there's no, to my knowledge, debated. Thanks, Beck, as well.
Yep.
To my knowledge, there is no actually real difference in, if we're talking about, the nutrients, the value of the actual product.
Yeah.
Of course, but then you're going to have, like you said, Sam, about chemicals and fertilizers and things being put in. But like for us, right, predominantly, if you're after weight loss, just eat a well-balanced diet, which contains veggies, meats, fruits, whatever. For me, it's like personal preference once again.
Yep.
But why go and spend a whole heap of money on organic products when, I don't know, this is going back to, again, it can be very controversial. Some people don't are very they think about the chemicals and all of that kind of stuff, and that's cool. But for me personally, it's just like eat normal fruit and veggies from the shop and wash them, and
I agree. The hard part is it's an opinion. Chemicals is definitely one of the biggest contributing factors to organic versus non-organic stuff. We've got to also think of environmental exposure and impact on the environment, right? Mass farming versus small farming. I like growing my own vegetables because it's cool and fun. I love, the fact that I do it without pesticides and stuff, but I still buy my broccoli and stuff from the supermarket, and I still know it's been snap frozen. I still know it's been treated and all the rest. But for me, it's the nutrients and it's the calories that matter the most to me. There's cost considerations. Like, I'm not going to be this person that's going to go out and say, hey, yes, I know organic foods could be a lot better for you in the long run. But if you're on a budget and you want to spend $9 a kilo on chicken breast versus 19, well, that's purely a personal preference. It just comes down to your individual values, your health concerns, your budget constraints, your environmental impacts and things like that. But at the end of the day, calories are calories, right? So for me, I just look for what's good for me, to be honest.
I think that's what we all should do.
Yeah. But definitely the chemicals would be the biggest contributing factor. Like Kate said there, she's an oncology nurse, and lots of her patients with esophageal cancer grow vegetables because of the chemicals. So makes total sense in that instance. So cool, excellent. All right, frequency over timing. Which is better when it comes to food intake, training, etc., to get the most out of it? Frequency over timing. Which is better? I think it all depends on the individual person, especially when it comes to frequency or timing. Consistency matters more often than anything, especially when we're creating habits or looking for these goals. Some people may benefit from specific meal times. Like I know, for instance, athletes and people that are training for something big need to have carb loading beforehand and need to eat before the gym. So timing is critical for those things. But others just find success with balanced diet, balanced meals, and just make calories overall per day. So it comes down to personal preference again. But if you want to get bang for buck out of your training and you need to fuel properly, timing is crucial. But if we're normal mums and dads, guys and girls that just want to lose weight, for me, it's calories over time, like per day. It's not about having to eat your protein shake 32.8 seconds after you've just done your gym session. It's about having that right amount of protein per day or per week as well.
Yeah, I would agree. It's just like, like if you're going to go into the gym and, if it's leg day or whatever, you might feel like you want a few extra carbs or calories or whatever it is, just to, bit of a pre-pump before you work out, and need to fuel, like have a little bit more energy. But then it's like, if you're going to go and, I don't know, go and smash yourself on the treadmill or something, do you really feel like having a big, massive breakfast full of bacon and eggs and the rest of it? Like, it comes down to personal preference and how you feel you train best. On a full stomach, on an empty stomach. don't get hung up on bloody fasted workouts and the rest of it and going into that.
Yeah. No,
Simple.
it's a mindset thing for some people. It works
Yeah.
well for them because they had a good experience the first time they did fasted cardio, or they did bulked up, or they ate a heap of carbs before the gym. Like for me, I like to have carbs and sugar before the gym because it's my kind of pre-workout, and it makes it good for me. But for everybody else, it might not work. So it comes down to personal preference. But for me, if we talk about specifically to do weight loss, because that's what we're all about, it's about the frequency, or sorry, yeah, more so the consistency and frequency of food that you eat per day, not over. Do I have to have lunch at 1 o'clock? Do I have to have my snack at 3? No, well, as long as you eat your calorie target in that time frame and you hit your protein target, bang, bang, bang.
Yep.
Cool. I like this question because it's a mindset thing as well as anything. How do I keep myself on the ball while tracking food? I find it tedious, demotivating, and at times, especially when I don't hit my numbers exactly. Well, I think that's a perfectionism thing that that we've got to be mindful of, because if you're struggling to keep yourself motivated or disciplined to track your food, go back to the reason why you're actually doing it. Are you severely overweight and depressed and need to lose weight? Yes. Do I need to do this to lose weight? Yes. Well, it's a discipline thing. It's a discipline thing. It's not a motivation thing. It's a discipline thing. So are your goals achievable? Maybe you've set yourself a ridiculous goal, 50 kilos in 2 weeks, and that ain't going to happen. And that's why you're feeling down about tracking, because it ain't working for you. So change the goal to something that's attainable. If you want to lose 50 kilos over the long run, have a goal of 2 kilos, 1 kilo a week. That's better. That's more achievable. And then we won't beat ourselves up too much if we're only losing 750 grams or things like that. So there's got to be a little flexibility in your life. There's got to be some days where, you know what, fuck it. Don't track. Just enjoy it. Just have a good day. Make sure you consciously eat well. But it's all coming down to discipline. Why are you doing this? Why am I trying to lose weight? Is this part of the process? Yes, then it's discipline in my eyes.
Yeah, I agree with that, Mike. If you've got a weight loss goal, though, it's like you've got to track your nutrition. Like you've got to. How on earth can you know how many calories you're putting in, and hitting all your targets and the rest of it?
Yeah.
No one like froths over tracking.
No.
Sometimes we just got to do those hard things to get the results. And in saying that, as you are more consistent and you learn to do that, it becomes second nature, right?
Yeah.
And then you can be, a little bit more, you can it be a little bit more flexible with your approach, and you start to know what certain foods look like and what, how to sub things in and out. But like, just, you got to track.
Yeah. Well, the thing with tracking is you want to get to a point where you can intuitively eat.
Yeah.
And that's the goal in life, right? We don't want to have to track for the rest of our lives. But if we want to strip fat off, we've got to track to make sure we know what our calorie and protein intake is. Yep. So the main thing for me would be if you're struggling with the motivation to track, then find a different way to track, or write things down, or change it to a journal instead of doing MyFitnessPal if it becomes tedious. Seek support. Tell someone, be accountable for it, post it somewhere. Do make sure that people know about that you're having that problem so you can get support, or do that hard work and get to the point where you can intuitively eat because you know how many calories are in chicken and your protein bars, and like that's kind of what I'm at my stage. If I want to strip fat a bit more, like I want to lose 1 or 2 kilos, I will dial in on my nutrition and I'll go track again. But now I know what I eat for breakfast because I'm consistent. I know what I have for lunch because I'm consistent. I know my snacks are roughly the same per day, and I know I have dinner's always going to vary, but I know my protein intake is going to be really high, and I know my calories are going to be reasonably low, plus or minus depending on the day. But I'm intuitively eating, and I'm still getting my steps. I'm still going to the gym, so I'm accounting for myself. So it's a discipline problem. It's not a motivation problem. If we've got discipline, it'll be good.
Yep. If you're like me too, like I tend to eat the same kind of thing each day. So therefore, if you know what you're eating, just repeat it. But then again, you've got people that find that ridiculously boring. So There's one little hack.
The boring shit works for a reason.
That's it.
The boring, simple, repetitive stuff works for a reason. The reason why Arnold Schwarzenegger was super consistent with his food is because he was consistently eating, and his training was consistently training the same shit over and over again, and that's where he got to the point where he was. So it's a discipline issue. If you're feeling like it's demotivating, then go back to your why. Why are you here? Break your goals down. Are they achievable? Yes. Then remind yourself that you're here for a reason. If it's weight loss and depression, well, get your ass moving and get some discipline going.
Yeah.
Cool. Everything seems to be working out for me in terms of working out, but my love handles and muffin top, does this just come down to my diet to get rid of it? I tell you what, I found the greatest exercise for removing your muffin top, and you're going to want to have to pause this later on and screenshot or record it because it's fucking gold. It's going to make me millions of dollars. I'm telling you now. You sit on your desk chair, right? You keep your feet flat on the ground and you just twist like this for about 1,000 times a day, and your love handles will disappear.
Sounds tedious.
And so will your will to live.
Oh, wow.
No, there is no easy way to get rid of muffin top or love handles. They're probably my enemy as well because I carry a little bit of extra body fat. It's diet.
You can't. It's like we say, you can't spot reduce fat.
Nah.
You can train a muscle, but you just can't spot reduce fat. If you've got a problem there, just stay consistent with your tracking and managing your weight loss, and eventually it will come off. And sometimes it does take a little bit longer depending on the situation. So many different factors. We won't even go into that, but just be consistent, and then in the long run, it will pay off. But we need to understand too, typically us ladies, that we need to have some fat.
Yeah.
Like we are designed to build and carry babies, and like we are, like our stomach and our bums and our hips and the rest of it. Like
that's the protection zone. So
it's completely normal. But if you're concerned about love handles and muffin tops, just be consistent.
Yeah, correct. Switch your diet back on. It goes back to the question just before it is about tracking. If you can dial right in on your calories and your protein, don't worry about your carbs and fats too much. Like that'll come into play when we start talking 8% to 6% body fat. Like we're really dialing in. But at the moment, when we're general weight loss people, mums and dads that just want to lose body fat, love handles, muffin tops, all comes down to what you put in your mouth. So if we can be consistent with a high protein, nutritious, whole food diet, having a couple of little crazy snacks on the weekend, but nothing too serious, we'll get there eventually. It happens. Yep. It happens. But don't go buying stupid pills, or don't go doing fucking ridiculous exercises that are going to just target the fat. It's not going to happen, right? Yep. You can do as many Russian twists or sit-ups as possible. You can have a fucking strong core, I'll tell you that, but the chances are you losing that body fat pretty much zero. So tidy up your diet, dial right in on your protein and your calorie target, and you will definitely get to a point where you'll be really, really happy with the outcome. And if you feel like that 10% body fat is your goal, congratulations, you've got better fucking willpower than I have. So go for it. Do it. It'd be nice to have a shred every now and then, but I'll tell you now, you'll go back to where it was before pretty quickly. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Excellent. Next question. Can I train a specific muscle group 4 times a week if I want that specifically to grow, or is it too much? Can I train a certain muscle group 4 times a week if I want that specifically to grow, or is it too much? Yes, you can if you feel like that you want to grow that, but let's just say you want to grow bigger arms and you do 4 arm sessions a week. Fatigue's going to come into play. Body proportion's going to come into play because you're going to walk around like this with a little torso and little legs.
Yeah.
I don't recommend it. For me, I reckon if you want to grow bigger butt or legs or arms at 2 times a week, dedicating a session to it is enough, to be honest. People don't remember or realize the impact that recovery has on your muscles, like giving them a chance to rest and recover and to grow. And if we're seriously stressing out a muscle too much, it's not going to have a chance to grow. So 4 times a week for one body part, in my opinion, is a little bit too much.
Yeah.
Two times a week, if you want to grow glutes, like a lot of people do, I would have 2 glute sessions a week, followed by arms, followed by back, and that to keep body proportion as much as I can. But progressive overload, people, is the only way we can grow muscle. Progressive overload.
And do that if it's 2 or 3 days a week. Just make sure that, you're upping the weights and you're focusing on your form rather than, just hammering yourself. I suppose it comes back to the individual goal, right?
Yeah, correct.
But more is not necessarily better in a lot of cases.
Correct. You might have, not going to name names, tiny calves, and you want to grow your calves. Yeah, I do calves every day. I mean, that person does do calves every day. But I don't dedicate a whole session 4 days to calves. I do calves every day because they're a weakness and I want to grow them. So I do 1 set of calves every day in my first session when I go to the gym, specifically because I want to grow my calves. And there's nothing wrong with that. But having 4 sessions per week dedicated to just arms, I mean, they'll be huge, but they'll be fatigued, and the likelihood of you going back and training them again will be absolutely zero. So get a good program. If you really want to target glutes, form is key. Form is key in anything you want to grow. Absolute perfect form. Frequency is the next best thing, and progressive overload is the one after that, so we can grow.
Yeah, I think that's right. And I think, we get a lot of particularly women when they first start out in the academy, and it's like, can I get a program that builds my booty or whatever, and they haven't even stepped foot in a gym. It's like,
that's crazy.
Like, come on, like, we need to do some full body workouts, making sure that we're stimulating all the muscles. Otherwise you're just gonna create some huge imbalances and the rest of it. Like, focus on becoming stronger, and just you don't need to be that early on in your journey hitting your booty or hitting your your abs or whatever. Just keep it very, very simple and just be consistent.
Definitely listen to your body, adjust your frequency. Progressive overload, form over anything is the only way you're going to grow muscles properly. There's no point in going in there and doing short, sharp, like crappy little arm movements if you want to build your bicep. It's just, it ain't going to work. Full extension, full contraction, like mind muscle connection is total, is the best way to do it. So if you want to do it 4 days a week, go for it. You're going to be severely fatigued, and the likelihood of injury is going to be very high. Very high. All right, last question. On leg press, how deep should I lower the weight, and do I lock out my knees every time on the movement? Okay. People, leg press is a very dangerous exercise if it's not done properly, in terms of gravity and a ton of weight sitting above you on an angle that will come down and crush you if you're not careful. Conversely, if you hyperextend your knee at the top, when most people start, they have their legs flat and their knees dead straight. You could hyperextend your knees through the other way and break your knees. I've seen it happen many a time. Ugh. So do not lock out your knees. Always have, I always say, like, maybe, I don't know, 5% of flexion, just enough there so you can just carry the weight with your feet. But with the leg press, now it depends on your mobility, and it depends on your hips or your muscles, where you put your legs. And, obviously the wider the legs, you can target specific parts of your quads. But for me, it's about comfort and getting your legs down without your ass lifting off the seat is critical, because you're putting too much pressure on other parts of your body, especially your lower back. So for me, I want to make sure my ass is pinned down. I grab the little safety handles on the side and I pull up with them to push my ass down, and only go as far as your knees can take you, right? I don't expect your knees to go behind you like a flaming Kama Sutra move, right? It's That's what you can do. Great, go for it. You're more flexible than me, but knees down is roughly to chest, about parallel to ground is probably the best way to sort of kind of explain it. And when we go back up, just remembering not to keep our legs locked out. That's super critical. And a lot of people put a ton of weight on these machines and only go like a press, right? And they go, oh, yeah, I just leg pressed 280 kilos. Well, you didn't, because you really didn't go all the way down.
That full range of motion.
The range of motion shit. So for me, if it was a first timer going on the leg press machine, I would do no weights. I would find my comfort zone where my knees can go comfortably and my leg movement would be comfortably. And I would make sure that I could do that. And then I would slowly put weights on to see how I'd go. But full range of motion down and not locking your knees out at the top is super critical when it comes to the leg press.
Yeah, and as well, not locking your legs out. It's not only a safety thing, but it's defeating the you're not getting the full benefits of the exercise. You want to be able to, keep your knees slightly bent so you can maintain that tension on the muscle while you are in that full range of movement.
Yeah.
Apart from that, like the pressure and the joint, that you're putting onto your actual joints is, it can be quite.
It
can be a lot.
Gravity.
Yeah, that's right.
Usually the machine weighs 40 kilos without weight on it. And if you stack in like 100 kilos, like a lot of people try on each way, and they're only doing shitty little movements, you're not doing a proper fucking leg press, right? It's purely about form. So the other thing we've got to be mindful of is not letting that thing come down too quick. That's when your hip can get really, really busted up in your groin area. So it's like anything in the gym, form is king. So slowly down and explode back up, not locking our knees out. Slowly down, explode back up. Keeping your butt pressed to the chair as much as you can. If you have to squeeze harder your arms to pull yourself down, like it's critical so your lower back's not getting pulled up. It's like try it without weights first, do the proper form, and then progressively put on 2.5 kilos on each side. Like I wouldn't start going 10s and 20s all the time. Like we can't go a 40% increase in progressive overload versus 2.5% or 10%. So let's be mindful about it. So get a proper program to do with legs as well, because like leg press is not the only thing you can do. Hack squats and all the rest of them are really good. Just be careful of the setup, be careful of the execution, and make sure that you don't lock your knees up.
Agree, Mike.
Excellent. Cool. We didn't have any questions come through today, which is a bit of a bummer, but it's kind of cool because it's one of those days where I had to get in and get out. So it's worked out pretty good. Thanks, guys. I appreciate your time today. If anyone's got any questions for next week's Q&A, can you send them through either comment on the actual post itself or send us a DM and we'll add it to the list for sure. We love these questions. I think it's super important that we provide as much value to you guys as possible. If you haven't joined our free Facebook group, please join our free Facebook group. It's got a ton of free stuff in there that we give away all the time, tips and tricks on starting your weight loss journey. And it's a great place to be if you haven't done. And if you've got any questions or you want to inquire about the academy and join full time, just message Carly and I on our private message there, and we'll get back to you and let you know straight away. But apart from that, everyone, have a great day. Carls, you impressed me today.
Thank you.
Yep, you're definitely stepping up another level.
Yeah, I feel like my technology is gained.
It's a good win for the day in my eyes, mate.
Thank you. You too.
Anyway, guys, thank you for joining us. I will catch you this time next week. Have a great day.